All right, CouchPotatoGM.com. We back at it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Visit us at CouchPotatoGM.com for all of our content. And we're talking about the big money man right now.
Derek Carr, $125 million man. Big time paid. Carr, can I get some of that? Send it my way.
Yeah, let me hold something.
PayPal. I'll hit you up with the PayPal. But what was it? It's $125 million, 5-year contract. $40 million guaranteed at signing, and $70 million guaranteed over the life of the contract.
Hey, best contract ever in NFL history.
Highest paid,
and,
yes, sir.
And because of that, there's been a lot of detractors on the social media sites, but
Twitterverse.
At the end of the day, man, that's what it is. You're a good quarterback in this league. He's on his way to potentially being a great quarterback. His trajectory, he's been improving every season in Oakland. So you have to pay that much money to get him, man. You just have to. You just have to, man.
Well, and you think about it too when you talk about that next guy, whatever position it is, quarterback, running back. Well, let's not use running back. Quarterback, defensive end, cornerback, wide receiver. If you're in the top, I'd say 3. Man, let's go top 5 echelon of that position. In talks, you're probably going to be the next guy, the highest paid next guy until that other guy gets paid.
Guy comes
so
up.
That's just kind of the nature of the business, and for quarterback, you happen to be the highest paid guy on the field. Defensive end may be next. I don't know, but, he just happens to be next in line. The cap went up $12 million last year. What do you do with that money? You're going to stick it in your back pocket? No, you're going to pay the guys that you need to pay. So, people just need to just chill.
You got to pay your franchise, and you got to think about where the Raiders were before Derek Carr got there, man. These guys were like the Cleveland Browns.
They were a black hole, bro.
They were the black hole.
They were a black hole. So
and they steady improved. The GM, the McKenzie, he's been drafted well. He built an offensive line, got the franchise quarterback, got him under contract now for the next 5 years, and the receivers to go with it. So the Raiders have done a terrific job. I love the signing. Like you said, it's a cost of doing business. It's the nature of the business. $125 million is what you got to pay them, man.
That's it, man. And people just again, nature of doing business.
The Trinity. The Raiders have the Trinity in place.
They got the Trinity. They got the GM, McKenzie. They got the coach in Del Rio, and they got the quarterback and Carr. And if you don't have one of those 3, you will struggle. And at each level. And we've seen what it looks like Haley mentioned earlier, we've seen what it looks like when you don't have a quarterback. Cleveland is a perfect example. There's a lot wrong there, but they don't have that piece. You know what I mean? And when you're drafting number 1, number 2, you're always looking for that quarterback. You know what I mean? And so, the Raiders got lucky and they got it in the second round in Derek Carr. My bad. I don't know. That's a mistake. And so, he got paid, and people got to live with it, man.
And let's talk about other quarterbacks. Let's compare him to other quarterbacks in the league now. Before him, there were guys making $100 million. There was Andy Dalton, Ryan Tannehill.
Not quite $100 million, but thereabouts. Yeah.
Big money deals.
Yes,
big
absolutely.
Money deals. So
absolutely.
These guys, to me, is nowhere near Derek Carr.
No. Nowhere
near Derek Carr. Derek Carr is a far superior guy to Tannehill, Andy Dalton, and those guys. And Jay Cutler, I think he got a big deal before that too. So, and now we're going to talk about the next guys coming up. The next guys is Matt Stafford and Kirk Cousins, man. Let's talk about those situations, man.
Okay, so let's go with, I guess you want to talk Cousins?
Go Cousins first.
That's the fun guy there. So, he's been on a series of franchise tags. Was like third year in a row. Two. It probably might be 3. I don't know. And the big deal is are they going to sign him this year? Has the Derek Carr contract kind of maybe screwed that up? And to me, if it's me, if I'm the GM, was it Doug Williams recently? Congratulations.
Doug Williams, this guy, they got rid of their GM. I think Doug Williams is the VP of
player
personnel.
Something like that.
So I don't even know the GM. They probably still in flux over there.
Whatever they're doing over there. Well, if I'm the GM, whoever that is, said person, okay, I'm probably not signing back Kirk Cousins. to me, I'm to the thought of he's going to go to the 49ers. They got stupid money, buku money, and that's where he's going to get paid. And because he's going to the 49ers, it probably will and may exceed maybe what Stafford is going to get, maybe what Carr has gotten. So, but again, let's talk about the player.
Yeah, is he worth it? Is he worth that deal, man?
No, but again, we're talking about the nature of the position. We're talking about, that's the guy. You know what I mean? And if you don't have a guy, that guy, you looking like the Browns. Let's stop using the Browns. Let's talk about let's use the Jets because they're more of a perfect example. You look like that. You know what I mean? So you gotta have that quarterback, and he's gonna get paid, man.
So Kirk Cousins, is he? You say he's that guy?
Yeah,
that guy.
That guy.
But is he that guy, or is he just a product of this Jay Gruden offense? Jordan Reed, Crowder, Deshaun Jackson, a lot of weapons on the offensive line.
You got to surround him with. He's what you call a complementary piece. He's going to make, he's not going to make everyone around him better, but he's going to come in and he's going to do what he has to do. This is what I need you to do: A, B, C, and D. He's going to do A, B, C, and D. He's not going to do E. He's not going to do F. He's not going to take you down to Z. He's just going to do what you ask him to do. There's going to be, there's probably going to be some peaks and some valleys with him because that's who Kirk Cousins is, and that's kind of what it is.
Yeah. I guess the question is this guy a franchise quarterback? Like you said, he's more of the team. The team surrounding him, but to be that guy making $125 million, to me, it should be. He makes everybody else on the team better. And then when we talk about Derek Carr, I think he's shown that. He's a very young quarterback. He still could get better. But is Kirk Cousins, is he peaked out? Does he get better? Can he eventually carry everyone around his team?
I can't see it, man.
He's a finished product at this point.
Yeah, he's at his peak. You know what you're getting when you're getting Kirk Cousins. When you open up that package, and the box of cereal says Cheerios, you're not going to open up and there's going to be Fruit Loops in there. It's going to be Cheerios. You know what I mean? There's not going to be any surprises. As a matter of fact, there's not even going to be a toy in there, bro. It's not going to be anything that's going to make you want to dig through the box, pour out the box. No, it's Cheerios. That's it. Get your milk ready if you use milk, or if you're a dry cereal guy or girl. Hey, man, but you know what you're getting with them. That's it. You know what I mean? That's it. And unfortunately, just make sure you got your milk ready, you got your bowl ready, your spoon ready. You gotta have all of that.
You need all the pieces.
Okay? Because you're not gonna eat it dry. So let me take that back. You're not gonna eat it dry. You're gonna need all your maybe you need some bananas. You know what I'm saying? Some strawberries. However you do it. That's what Kirk Cousins is, man.
So yeah, man. Let's transition into Matt Stafford, man. Same kind of questions. Does he make the people around him better? What do you expect the contract going to be? Let's talk about Matt Stafford, man.
With Stafford, man, he's a talent, man. Does he make the people around him better?
I'll answer that one for you.
Yeah,
yes.
Do that because
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think so. I mean, particularly looking at this last season and a half, 2 seasons.
No Calvin.
You know what I'm saying? And most recently without Calvin, that wasn't a playoff caliber roster that Stafford was leading last year. The comebacks, the close winning games, the ball games that are close. Plus, again, we're talking about a place that has no history of winning. Yeah. Oakland actually had a history of winning. It was a long time ago, don't get me wrong. But the Lions have really never had success. They don't have a Super Bowl to their credit. Yeah. So I think ultimately what they'll do is they'll end up paying him whatever he wants to keep him in Detroit. But I think Stafford is one of those guys that actually raises the level of the players around him. There is no more Calvin, to your point. Yep. You know what I mean? Marvin Jones, I think will be better this season than he was last season, but outside of maybe a couple of weeks, he wasn't really around. Yeah, you know what I mean? The Lions are actually putting some pieces together in front of Stafford now along the offensive line
probably since
in his career. Yeah. So that's considering what he's done, the numbers he's put up, the fact that he's taken to the Lions to the playoffs a few times. Yeah. I think he definitely makes them better. The pieces around him better.
And they don't particularly run the ball well there either. Not that that's a big thing there, but So I'll roll with that. I can roll with some of that.
Yeah, and Stafford, like we said about Derek Carr, he's the next guy up probably, and he's probably going to be the richest guy in the NFL coming up very shortly. It might get done before the season even starts. So Yeah, man. I think Stafford early on in his careers, like you said, he's on an upward trajectory too. He started out with some struggles, and he improved, and then ever since Bob Cooter got over there, this guy over the last year and a half took his game to another level where you see him carrying the football team right now. You see him. No Calvin Johnson. The offensive line has been struggling. It just got, like you said, it's the best it's ever been right now. So the offensive line was never really that good before. No running game, and he took the Lions to the playoffs. What, 2 years now? Two out of 3 years, something like that. So, Matt Stafford, I think he deserves the money also. Just like Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, not so sure.
And I don't think, from what I remember, I don't think he played bad in that playoff game. Just everybody around him kind of failed. From Bolden to Jones, and if those guys can show up, routinely.
I mean, these are teams that Stafford didn't play on that particular team, but the Lions didn't win a game. The year before he got drafted, the Lions didn't win a game. The Lions are actually respectable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't see how anyone could say that he doesn't make the team around him. Even before the Bob Cooter, Jim Caldwell, it wasn't as pretty as it is now. Yeah. But in terms of the TD to INT ratio, but there was a few seasons back, Stafford threw over 40 TDs.
Over 5,000 yards.
You know what I'm saying? So to Drew's point, that's where you talk about the talent. He's reined in that gunslinger a little bit, and now you're really starting to see what I think will ultimately be an elite quarterback. I think ultimately he's going to be among those guys that we talk about, particularly when the old guard is done.
Like
he will.
The Matty Ice.
Rodgers and stuff. Maybe not necessarily to Rodgers' level, but certainly those are going to be the best quarterbacks in the league.
Definitely, man. Well, I just drafted in my keeper league, so
there you go.
I'm looking for big things from you, man.
Not a keeper, dynasty.
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 My bad, Dynasty league.
Yeah. So,
looking for big things for you, Stafford, man.
But that's on couchpotatogm.com. Find us on Twitter, CPGM Drew, CPGM Haley, CPGM Juice. Facebook page, Couch Potato GM, Facebook page. And also, subscribe, like, comment.